Sports is just, it's so impactful and can change so many things. For, with my experience, the lives of children. With one of our programs, United Soccer Club, which I'm sure we'll get to, we have kids in neighborhoods that have never seen outside of their neighborhood. And that's so crazy to me because I'm not from Washington, D.C. I'm from Ohio. And there's not a ton of diversity at all. And when I came here, I just thought it was so cool to, go see the White House and the monuments and, go to really great areas of the city and go to not such great areas of the city. So I thought it was really baffling to see kids that have been here, all their lives and have never seen outside of their neighborhood. So, I think I'm in a position now, and when I taught at Georgetown, to really, help kids see outside of their neighborhood. And I think it's important for, me being in my position to really take advantage of that and to help kids kind of see what else is out there beyond their neighborhood, even beyond DC, because there's, such a huge world out there that, I think it's really important for us to, I take responsibility and I'm very passionate about doing that. So, teaching a class at Georgetown, social responsibilities, for me, I think working with DC United and being able to use our resources to help other children is a responsibility of our team. I don't think not doing that, not doing community-minded events and initiatives. I think that's terrible if sports teams don't use their resources to do that. United for DC is DC United's 501c3 charity. So we are a completely separate organization from DC United, but obviously we use the resources of DC United, its players, its name a bit. And so under United for DC, we have a community relations department, and then we also have our foundation, United for DC. And United for DC focuses on children in underserved areas of the community, whereas the team side and community relations is kind of your community at large. We started the foundation 10 years, well, this will be our 11th year, but in 2002 to, further expand what we could do in the community. It's, we can fundraise as being a nonprofit, run programs like United Soccer Club, through partnerships and grants. So again, we started in 2002. In 2006 is when we began United Soccer Club. That came from a request in Ward 8, which is just right across the river from the stadium. Our goal is to be a good community partner wherever we are. So we have a lot of community initiatives in this area. When there were talks of us moving our state, or not moving, but building a stadium in Ward 8 east of the river, the first thing we wanted to do is really reach out to the community. So, it was tough trying to break in over there. But one thing that we kept hearing is, it's great to have a stadium here, but, our kids don't have the opportunity to play soccer. So, I would love to think that it was my idea, but it wasn't. But it literally came from a request of a parent. And so we started there with one site and about 30 kids. Now we are at 12 sites throughout the city. with between 700 and about 850 kids. So it's become a really huge program, but it's something that we're really proud of, and we have sites in predominantly African American communities. We have sites in predominantly Hispanic communities. So, and going back to your first question a little bit, it's really interesting to see when we transport the kids to the other sites, and they're like, this exists? Like, I had no clue that this was, it just, that it was so eye-opening to them. So I think that, again, this United Soccer Club is our biggest program by far. We have 2 other programs under the umbrella of United for DC. A literacy program, which we donate about between 8,000 and 10,000 books to 6 adopted schools throughout the DC area. And then our players will, and our staff will go read to the children at these schools, talk to them about the importance of reading, talk to them about having a healthy mind, reading, and a healthy body, kind of staying active with soccer. And we send our mascot out to the schools as well. The kids get a huge kick out of the big bird coming. And then our final program that we run through Unite for DC is called Kicks for Kids, which most sports teams have it, but we donate tickets to nonprofit organizations in the city that are serving children. So under 18 years old, we bring out about, I would say, 4,000 kids throughout the course of the season, between 3,000 and 4,000 kids over the course of the season. That's a constant struggle because, unfortunately, some of the neighborhoods that we work in, the parents are, they're single-parent households. The mom or dad or whoever it is may have, 2 or 3 jobs, so it makes it tough to engage the parents. We're constantly working on that. This last year, through United Soccer Club, we had a Coach Across America young lady that came in for, she was here for about 6 months, and her thing was cross-training. So she offered a cross-training class for some of the parents at only one site, because there was only one of her. But that was a way that we tried to say, okay, look, your kids are active, they're playing soccer, you get active, we'll give you, healthy tips for cooking at home. We'll give you different workout tips so that they're getting the message as well that, it's important to, that your kids are learning to be healthy, but, once they're only with us for an hour and a half. So once they go home, how to translate what they've learned into, meals on the dinner table. So it's always a challenge, parental engagement, but it's something that we are constantly, trying to do and trying to get better at. Our players go out, and not all of them, but a few of them will go out and coach the kids. So a lot of these kids have never met a professional athlete before. So when they might not even know who the player is, but once you tell them, oh, he's a professional athlete, he plays at RFK. Some of them have seen the stadium because it's not the ones east of the river. It's not too far from where they live. So they get the relation, excuse me, and they think it's awesome that they have professional athletes teaching them. This past year we started an all-star, it's not really a team, but we did an all-star session where we invited the top kids, even though we don't. It's fun, but, you know, at the end of the day, it would be really great to see one of the kids end up on the first team. But we developed this all-star program that we'll do it once in the spring and once in the fall. We'll bring the top kids in each site to train with some of our players, to train with some of our academy coaches. And, you know, they get, the student athletes, they get a really awesome sense of how things could be if they kind of stayed in the right direction and on the right track. And then, you know, they go back to their own sites, and they feel like they're a leader now because they've been invited to this one-time camp, and so it helps us, you know, help them in terms of like, look, you know, you were the leader, so you need to, you know, make sure that you're taking responsibility and you're moving everyone in the right direction. You can't, you know, run off and do your own thing. And so it really hit home with them that they thought that, they are special, but they thought that they were special, that they got chosen to do this. So now they have to help their peers. I've, you know, had players come up to me and say, hey, I really want to get involved with this particular program with United Soccer Club because they, one player in particular that I'm thinking of, he didn't grow up in the best area and he made it. So he kind of wants to help kids, you know, make it to, you know, achieve their own dreams. Soccer was his dream, and he just wants to be a positive role model for them. So our team, over the course of a year, probably does between, I would say, 250 to 300 appearances. So they're busy. We really stress the importance of staying in school. You know, we're no different. You know, MLS, you know, our players, not some of them, not all of them, but, you know, some of them don't finish college. They go right into the league, just like, you know, NFL or NBA players. So we're no different in that respect. But you know, the big thing is what we try to drill into the kids is if you can't read a contract, then how can you be a professional athlete? You know, you need to know where things are going and who's getting what. So we really try to stress the importance of schooling and having an education. And most of the players, you know, had to maintain a certain grade point average to get to, you know, high school, and then a certain grade point average to get to college. But you have to have that grade point average to play sports. So even if you do go pro right out of high school, if you weren't making the grades, then you would have never had that opportunity to go pro. So our players are really good with that message. But then also, you know, it's definitely learned. I don't want to say learned. It's the guys that have been on the team for a little bit longer, the veterans, you know, they get the leadership quality. It's hard for a rookie to go and talk about leading because they're rookies. So there's not much that they're leading their first couple of years. But once they've been in the league for a little while, you know, they can really talk about the importance of leadership and the importance of, you know, building their team up so that they're all good, not just one star. I've been with DC United for 9 years now, and it's really interesting to see from the player's perspective, to see them come in as a rookie and grow to be such role models to a lot of the kids that we work with.